All right. Hi, Promise Fellow new supervisors. So this is a brief section where we're going to go over the benefits of being an AmeriCorps member and then also do some pieces on prohibited activities. So right off the bat, you might already know some of these benefits, but just outline them all. Here are the in-service benefits. So the Promise Fellows will get a living stipend that is paid bi-monthly. So that is on the 16th and the end of the month. So that's $574 twice a month before tax. They are eligible for student loan forbearance for any federal loans that they have. They can get health insurance through us. If need be, if you need, we do have an AmeriCorps child care program, so if you're eligible. We also are the human resource side of the workers' compensation. So if there's any accident that ever happens at your site, we would be the people that help work around those pieces. So reach out to us for workers' comp. And then the last piece is a benefit that's in the site agreement or the host site agreement is mileage reimbursement. Each site needs to make sure that for required trainings, which is any training that they're coming to for being a Promise Fellow or anything else that you're requiring, that's provided by the host site, not the alliance. So they need to go through your procedures in order to get reimbursed. And then finally, the post-service benefits, which is primarily the education award, is $5,815. So that changes a little bit every year, but for this year is $5,815. They will get at the end of their service term, so after they serve that 1,720 hours. And the other piece is that they can, during the term, they can have a student loan interest accrual payoff, so paying off the student interest over the term of service. So you can make sure that you reach out to us at the Alliance if you have any questions about that. Some additional benefits are the AmeriCoach, professional development and professional learning communities. AmeriCorps, at the beginning of the service year, we will reach out to Promise Fellows and see if they want to have a life coach. So they will get that in the first month or two of service if that's something that they're looking for, and it's an awesome opportunity. Professional development is actually called kind of a member-initiated service hours. We'll provide additional information at both the in-person supervisor training, and Promise Fellows will get guidance around this during their Small Core 2 training. But essentially, there's an opportunity to earn hours that are member-initiated that don't directly fall into their service role. And then finally, we will have there will be professional learning communities that a Promise Fellow can join throughout the term of service. It will be in an effort to dive deeper into a topic of interest with other Promise Fellows. All right. And then just to help ground everyone on when Promise Fellows start and end, here is the Promise Fellow official start dates. So as you can see, you need to make sure that Promise Fellow gets all of their enrollment paperwork done by those due dates on the left. So that way you know exactly when they're going to start. And so essentially, as long as the enrollments are done by those dates, there'll only be start dates on the 1st and the 16th. So right now, please make sure that you're looking to get all of that enrollment done, or guide the Promise Fellow to get all that enrollment done so they can start as soon as possible. So when the Promise Fellow starts, just so you know, their first payment is 30 days after their start date. So that's pretty customary for jobs, but make sure that they know it because it can take a little while, and since they are living on the living allowance, it could be a hardship for folks. Supervisors, you also need to make sure that you are creating opportunities and holding Promise Fellows to 40 hours a week. They need to serve. Our full-time policy is that Promise Fellows are serving 40 hours per week. And then finally, just so you know, we don't have a lot of accountability pieces that we can do here at the Alliance because the Promise Fellows are serving out and about at different host sites. So really, we have data requirements, timesheet requirements, required paperwork, and we will do our best to coach members and say, you know, this is when something's due. They'll have a calendar. They'll know exactly all the dates for every timesheet and every progress data piece that they need to have in. And mid-year and end-of-year evaluations, they'll know those dates. But we'll reach out and say this needs to be done. And if they don't get back to us, essentially all of this is required by our federal grant. And so we will put a living allowance on hold in order to get said pieces that we need. So whether that's timesheets, data requirements, or required paperwork, and the Promise Fellow will get any back pay. So after they submit what is missing, they would get both the next living allowance with any past ones, assuming that they got the required pieces done. And then for member prohibited activities that you need to make sure that you know, as an AmeriCorps member, there's a lot of rules. The rules are outlined in more detail in your host site agreement and in the member service agreement. It's just important, or really important, that you all become familiar with the rules and make sure that they're following the code of conduct and making sure that they're not doing prohibited activities. So once again, we'll go into all this more in our in-person trainings, but if you ever have a question about an activity, please make sure that you reach out to us. And we just highlighted a few of the pieces that come out a little bit more often. So Promise Fellows, can't be, during their service, can't be participating in any political activity. That said, they could do it as an individual private citizen, but they can't do it while wearing AmeriCorps gear or in relation to their service. They can't provide or give perception on providing religious instruction. Once again, they might be doing that in their own individual time, but it can't happen during their service period during the day. And they can't be displacing a paid staff position, so that means they can't act as sub for classrooms, or they can't be taking a role that already exists in your building. And then finally, they can't engage in any inappropriate activity or behavior. And please make sure that you're looking to all of the detail that's in your host site agreement, and the member service agreement will have it as well. All right, thank you.